Here in program 615, I'm going to demonstrate the difference between local and global variables. That being said, you really shouldn't at this point in your programming careers be using global variables really at all. Okay, so I'm going to talk about local variables. Here in my main program, I have a variable called num, and it's assigned the value of 1. So in this other function, called another function, I also have a variable called num, and it's assigned the value of 20. Both of these are local variables. They're declared inside the body of main or inside the body of another function. When they're declared inside, that's the only place they have meaning. So only inside the main program or only inside here. So if I run this program, right, you will see in main num is 1, in another function num is 20, and then back in main num is still number 1. And that's what we would expect. In main, when it displays num here, it's just a 1. Then we jump out to another function where num is 20, and then it says in another function num is 20. And then we come back here, and then back in main num is still 1. So there's two different variables with the same name. Granted, that's not great programming practice, so I would feel like if this was your program, you probably could come up with better variable names. Maybe you could call it, you know, number 1 and number 2, or number main and number function, and then there wouldn't be any confusion at all. The difference between a local variable and a global variable is a global variable is declared prior to the main program. When something is declared prior to the main program, for instance like this, and I'm just going to comment this out, well, I'll take it out so it doesn't cause confusion. It means everybody has access to the variable num. It means the function main and the function another function both do. So I set it to 2, and that's what it's going to be when it displays. In main it's 2, in another function it's 2, back in main it's still 2. So the problem with global variables, and why I'm going to show you what they are, but I don't really want you using them anywhere, is they can cause problems. If the function changes it, it's going to be changed back in main, right? If I come down here and I change num to 20 inside this function, when I run it, in main it's 2, in another function it's 20, and back in main it's still 20. So the main program might be expecting it to be 2 still, but it's not. It's been changed. Okay? So they can really be dangerous, and so even though you can declare global variables, you really should not be declaring them or declaring them as infrequently as possible. If there's information in a program that you need to send to a function, that's what your arguments and your parameters are for. About the only thing that really is okay to put in the global section are global constants. You know, our function prototypes are actually in the global section as well, but if I wanted to say const int year, you know, is assigned the value 214. Constants are generally used throughout the whole entire program. So if I put that here, you know, I can, you know, see out year here, or I could, you know, see out the year here, and that would be fine. But that's an example of something generally constant, where you want to be able to use them in the main program and functions. So in your programs, the only thing I want to see above main is constants.